Good afternoon. Welcome to Wednesday live shopping here at Highlight Crafts. Oh, I'm so excited about this show. It's not very often I get to play with stencils and paints and lovely, lovely stuff. And today I do because David's on holiday, so I get to step into David's shoes, which are a little bit too big, but we'll have a lot of fun and we've got loads of techniques to share with you because I want to go do stenciling in a different way. Because when we look at big stencils, we think, oh yeah, mixed media, canvases, etc. I'm going to show you how you can use them for card making, which I'm very excited about. So thank you for joining me. Please stay tuned because we've got lots of demos coming up, little technique bits throughout the hour. So first of all, let me introduce you to our team. I've got Andrew in my ear today. Says howdy. We've got Sam on cameras. There she is, giving us away. Sam's off for 2 weeks from next week. I don't know how we're going to cope without her. But Amber will be back. But Amber will come back into a whole chaos, which will be fabulous. She's brilliant. Right, so where can you watch us and how to shop? You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. If you're going to shop on either of our social media platforms, so Facebook or Instagram, I'm going to show you a product and that product will have a code. And all you're going to do is type shop and then that code into the comments underneath the video, so you don't need to miss a second of the show. Then we're going to send you a message that says thank you very much for your order. That will go to your social media inbox. When you're ready to turn all those goodies into Happy Post, because we like it when we do that, don't we? When you press checkout, you get excited. All you're going to do is click on that link and that will take you to our website. Log into your account, please. If you haven't opened one with us yet, please do so, because being a club member is going to become more and more important. It also gives you free membership just by opening an account, which means that you instantly get extra discount, loyalty points that you can build on, and on any basket spend over £35 you get free shipping. So it's brilliant. All the good stuff, none of the bad stuff. If you're going to shop with us on highlightcrafts.com, you can watch us on YouTube on your big TV, shop on your device, and all you need to do is add the products that you would like to purchase to your basket, which is super easy. You'll then get a little red shopping bag appear at the top with all your goodies in, and when you're ready to check out, click on that shopping bag and that will take you through that checkout process. Good morning to Carol. Have you got your jumper and your coffee now, love? It's cold, isn't it, today? It's gone nippy again. We've got Lorraine in here. Lorraine's going to stencil some of her new towels with her paints, which is exciting. Yes, we've got all that. We've got Jane, Lorraine, Graham, and Amanda, and Lisa. So thank you for joining us. Right, we've got some goodies for you. So I'm going to start with this, and it's not the most exciting product in the world, but you're going to go through it. If you are on Stephanie's painting class, if you are doing the Cadence Club with David, or you use Cadence paints anytime, if you use inks and you need a nice soft surface to blend in from, this is going to become your best friend. This is Shop Artist. It's from Royal & Langnickel, so it's an artist quality product. It's palette paper, but we've got it 40 sheets, 9 inches by 12 inches, so a full big sheet, bigger than A4, for $9.99 for 40 sheets. You need this in your life. If you do anything with paint, anything with ink, this is absolutely brilliant. And have we bought it before in A4? Can you remember? It's very recently. It's the first time I've seen it, and I was like, right, I need that in my life, because the little sheets are great, but when you're doing bigger projects, this is going to be fabulous, and it's wonderful with ink. In fact, while you're here, let me just quickly show you this. So if you've got some ink, let's just get a little bit of ink. I told you it was going to be a random technique show, didn't I? We're off already. So if I put a little bit of ink on here, like this, I can then pick it up with a blending brush. Because this surface is smooth, look at this, you can do this. I'll tell you what else this will be really good for. If you're stenciling onto something like a bag, you know when David did the medallions on the bags on Saturday, look how smooth that is. Look how it's just hitting the edge of that card. But because I've got this movement here with my brush, look how beautifully that blends down the side. If you're doing things like bags, put a sheet of this onto a piece of board, put it inside the bag, because it's got that plastic coating to it, it will stop the paint going through and penetrating. That is brilliant for that as well. You're getting 40 sheets that are 9 inches wide by 12 inches long. So they're really good, decent sheets. Of course, you can cut them down, but for $9.99, if you cut them down into 4, that's 160 sheets of palette paper for $9.99 before your club discount, plus your points, and that gets you on your way to your free shipping as well, which is fab. Right, we're going to go through stencils next because these, we haven't got a lot of some of these. So these were the medallions that David launched on Saturday morning. So this is your first set. Let me just have a look at my notes. Give me the code and price, Andrew, please. Shop Medal, MEDAL, $29.99 is going to get you all 4. That's £7.50 per big stencil. Now, if you're looking at it and going, yeah, but Mel, I'm a card maker. Watch this. Look at this. It's magic today. How fabulous is that? That is the medallion, this very medallion here, but in the shape of a heart. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's cool, isn't it? This one is using, where am I? That one again. No, different one. That one. Look at that. You'd never know, would you? And then this one is using that one as well, just to create a panel down the centre of a card. So please don't think that just because they're big stencils, they're for home decor or mixed media. Absolutely not. This is an opportunity to get a lot for a little, because £7.50 for one of those is absolutely crazy. Now, to answer any questions before they come in, no, they'll never be SVG files because they're not our designs. We've bought these in. So that's a question that I'm bound to get asked. Secondly, you can just use them as you would use a normal stencil that you either cut yourself or you buy from us. So there's no magic qualities to them. They are a stencil, but what you can do with them is a little bit of magic. And I love that. It's very exciting. I know Stephanie let the cat out of the bag this morning and told you that we might be getting Prima. These are going to be amazing with that. I told them already, Andrew. I know me and Hannah came in with a look of disgust. And then the worst bit was she said, and I went on their website last night because I've got the login and Mel doesn't have it yet. Like, she was really proud of herself. I was like, you little monkey. So I came back in again. Right, so these are your shop medal. I'm just going to get the next one because then I'm not throwing Andrew a curveball. Oh, he's got it. Shop Magic. Shop Magic is going to get you these 4. Now, these are fantastic. We've got less than 10 units on both sets. So if you want these, you need to be quick. I think with you could moodle inside these. So you could take a fine liner, draw inside, moodle inside of them. They'd look amazing on top of a piece of furniture with your Cadence paints. Think about that. But also your scrapbook pages, or even using them as a quarter and just the corner of a card with the sentiment on. If you make and sell and you're desperate for something that's different, that's quick and easy to do, these are going to be your solution, I believe, because there's so many different techniques you can do with them. And we're going to be bringing you, we brought you loads of rice papers recently. Adding a little bit of this, even if it's with ink, just makes a difference. It builds those layers on layers on layers. So if you want that one, it's Shop Magic and it's $29.99. Again, less than 10 sets on both. So that's those. Now then, we've got borders for you, and these are lovely. So we'll do the borders, and then we've got a quiz, a traditional quiz. I know. Right, so shop border, which is that one. We've got 4 of these left. Okay, we've got 4. $24.99 is going to get you all 6. So that's £4, less than £4.20 per border stencil. That's incredible value for money. That's ridiculous. We've got 4 of them left, and I'm not surprised at that price. That's crazy value, and there isn't a bad one among them. You know, sometimes when you get a set and you're like, yeah, that was a bit, not sure about that one. They're all fabulous. Use them on your furniture. Use them just literally across the middle of a card with a sentiment on, or the top and the bottom, or the left and the right. But these are a great opportunity to get some great, wonderfully quality stencils, beautiful designs for a low price. Shop border, $24.99. Your next one, shop cross, we've got 2 left. So I'm not going to tell you fibs. If you want it, you're going to have to be really quick. Get it into that basket, get it checked out. Look at these, aren't these fab? That one in particular I think is very pretty. That would be lovely for card making. But it could be that you just have that part, maybe that with those leaves there and these leaves here just on a piece of furniture, front of a book. You know all the books we bought you, those journals with the spiral bound journals from Reeves? Put these on the front. It changes. You can buy a really inexpensive notebook and make it look really expensive by what you put on the front of it. So I think that's a cracking one. You can have them that way. You've got half medallions. Now this is a great way of buying 4 medallions because you can just flip the stencil over. And because the designs are symmetrical, you'll be able to get a full one out of that as well. I think they're brilliant. I love them. That one in particular is very, very, very pretty. Right, so those are your borders. Right, let's do a quiz question, shall we? So we're going to do a quiz, and then we're going to spin the wheel and get a winner. Need somebody to get the wheel, Andrew. Can you put that in the WhatsApp group, please? Question number 1. What country lies north of France and south of Holland? Asking me that, I have no idea. But I have, because of the description, the answers are on here. But apart from that, I wouldn't know. I'm rubbish at geography. Absolutely rubbish at geography. Right. They do good waffles. Ah, there you go, Andrew. That's a good one. They do good waffles. Yeah, they do good waffles. Right, let's have a look at some sets of stencils, shall we? Now then, we brought you these on Saturday. So you're going to get these 4. Oh, got little bits popped in. Now you might have to just go in and hook a few of the little bits out, but that's all right. We can do that, can't we? So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and they come with 8 of these little daubers. Now, I've used these with paint. I've used them with ink. The things that I'm going to use them with in this show is Mixion. So we can do it with your gold foil or your metal leaf. And then also, we're also going to do them with embossing ink. So you can put embossing powders on top of them, which I think will be really cool, because these are really good for smaller areas and with different mediums. So if you want those, that's a cracking price, actually. 4 little stencils, if you just want to have a go. Do you know what I mean? You've got embossing powders that you've had in the back of your cupboards for years and you never use them anymore, and you've still got a sticky ink. This is going to be a great set for that. And you can see, just literally inked through. Look how lovely these are. You could put some of your Sospeso Trasparente flowers onto these if you wanted to, but super, super simple, just little thank you cards. That's really pretty. Just little thank you cards that you could do a pack of 10, put a little thank you sticker on the bottom, pack of 10 with a little ribbon, job done. That would be fabulous, wouldn't it? So that one, if you want that, is Shop Floral. It's $6.99. I mean, $6.99. Sorry? $12.99. Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. Wrong price again, Melanie. $12.99. Right, let's adjust that. I've got too many lines on a spreadsheet, and I'm rubbish at spreadsheets as it is. $12.99. So 4 stencils and 8 daubers. That's great. Right, next one. Now then, these are really clever. And these you could make into illuminated letters very easily. So you could take something like this. And the great thing about these, so you get, let me show you exactly what you get. You get a full alphabet, so you get all of your letters. You also get your numbers in here as well. This is David running out the door on Saturday, innit? Because he wanted to get away because he finished work. I get that. And you've also got you've got some punctuation in there as well, which is really cool. But the brilliant thing about this is they have these little slits in them, so they lock together. Let me work that out. So you've got to have them the right way around, Melanie, otherwise it won't work. So you've got, these just literally slot into each other like that, and they hold in place. Oh, have I not got that right? C, B. How's that a thing? How's that a thing? There we are. That's it. So they slot in like that. I was like, wow, need a jigsaw for that. So they slot together like that, so they will then hold in place. So you can get all your alphabets in the same direction, so you can get them all lined up perfectly. So if you're doing bunting, maybe you're having a summer garden party and you want bunting, these are going to be perfect for that. Also inking through them or painting through them, and then adding with a pen over the top and do a little bit of doodling inside them. That will look really nice. So if you've got a stencil background, just using one of these to create almost like an illuminated letter, they're going to be super, super cool. So you get the full alphabet, numbers 0 to 9, and some punctuation in there as well, which is great. So all that lot, and what? And a what? A heart. Oh, well, that's all right. And just says randomly. I quite like the idea of having a heart. Shop letter, $19.99 is going to get you those. That's a great price. That's really good. Right, next one. Shop 1, floral stencil set 4. Right, so let's have a look. Shop 1. These are, you're getting 10. They're 15 by 7.5. This is, what do you mean this is our last one? We've got one of this. Oh, I thought you said there were quite good stocks on this. All right, we've got one. Right, you need to be quick. Okay, so we've got one. What's lovely about a stencil? Well, there's two things lovely about a stencil. I never used to use stencils at all. I was like, no, it's messy, and I don't do messy. However, what's wonderful about a stencil is you get to a stage and you look at it and you go, oh, God, that looks awful. And then you take the stencil off and it's magic. It's that little bit of magic. And the other great thing is you can flip them over. So you get 2 for 1 because you can have it facing that way or that way, which is really cool. So you're getting 10 of these stencils here. So I'll put them all onto a piece of black so you can see them all. All of those, shop 1, £14.99. £1.49 a stencil before your club discount. That's crazy madness, isn't it? And do you know why we bought some in? Because we needed more product and we couldn't cut them from the mylar that we bring in, plus the wages that it takes for somebody to cut them all. We couldn't cut them for that price. £1.49 a stencil. That's incredible value for money. So that's your first set 1. Now set 2, oh, we've only got 2 of these. Blinking heck. We haven't got much on here, have we? Right, so we've got all of these. You need to be quick, people. I think these have been selling in between shows. Look how lovely is this. Now, there's some news I need to tell you about as well. If you're somebody that watches us on a regular basis, and as the summer starts to get nicer and the weather gets better and you're going out and about, you can take us with you because you can watch us on your mobile devices. But what we're also going to do is put repeats out. So on the hours, some of the hours when we're not live, we're going to put repeats out so that you can catch up in the evening, which means that it is now even more important that you check out your baskets as soon as you can. Because if you don't, and somebody comes back from a day out the seaside and they think 7 o'clock I'll sit down and see what the team have been up to at Highlight today, and you haven't checked your basket out, they can steal it. So it's now even more important than ever that you're checking out your baskets, please. And I know, and I've worked in TV for 20 years, and I don't want to become that presenter that's like, check out, check out, check out, check out. I don't want to do that. But you need to check out because otherwise somebody's going to pinch it. And we have phone calls every single day from people saying it was in my basket, it's not there now. And we're like, sold out. Don't want anybody disappointed. Right. Floral set 1 is fully... Okay, so borders and eclectic crossover, they've gone. Okay. And floral set 1 has also gone. Not surprised we only have one of those. If you want something like that, and they're all lovely. I wouldn't like to choose, to be fair, because they're all really, really, really pretty. So that one we've got, how many of these left, Andrew? Shop 2? 1. Okay, next person to get that is going to get it in your basket and get it checked out. Now then, I had these added to our show because I want to do some embossing with some of these stencils. So if I just unscrew the top of this, you're going to get, this is your, bear with, copper. I got Katie to drop the price. We've got rose gold. Now these embossing powders, look at just getting really, well, you are really close in on that. Look at the different colours that are in here that make up that rose gold. You've then got polished gold in here. Now these, although they're under the Craftmaster brand, were manufactured for us by a company called Wow. And if you've ever done any kind of stamping with embossing powder, you will know that brand. And you will also know that they are one of the leading industry leaders in their field when it comes to embossing powder. They are incredible at what they do. You're getting 4 of these for $15.99. So you get the rose gold, you get the copper, you get the gold, and you get the silver. They are ram jam packed full, as you can see. These will last you a long, long time. Any extras that you've got, you save back into a spare pot. We bought you empty pots recently. If you've got those, that's going to be perfect. But for £4 a pot for wow, that size is incredible value for money. Go and check it out if you don't believe me. They're very good at what they do, but they're not an inexpensive product. So while you can get them while they're on a deal at £4 a pot, absolutely get these into your basket. They are brilliant and they are super, super fine. So even on the most detailed, delicate stamp, you will still get that fantastic impression. So if you like really detailed stamps, these are brilliant. You can also put them onto a Teflon sheet in a pile, heat them from underneath with your heat gun and let it melt, and then stamp into it like you would have done with UT, ultra thick embossing enamel. So it's a brilliant opportunity to get, again, 4 pots of wow embossing powders for $15.99. That's a cracking price. We've had them on before where we did 2 of each pot. And Katie said, do you want that deal? I went, no, I'd like 1 of each, please. Because they last you so long, sometimes you don't want to invest a bigger amount of money. But to get those at £4 a pot, $15.99 shop melt is brilliant. Now then, we have some paint on a deal for you at the moment. So we've got Shop Warm, which gives you your winter warmers. Now it says winter warmers, but you've got a cream in there, you've got a lovely soft rose, you've got 2 different reds, blood red, which is Stephanie's favourite, you've got cherry in there, which is a deeper shade, and you've got ocean, which is a lovely navy blue. We've got them on a deal for you. You've got a saving across this pack of £7.50, and you're paying £15, so you're paying £3 per bottle. I know, Andrew's just gone, oof, I know. £3 a bottle for Cadence Hybrid Acrylic. Even if you've got the colours, stock up on them. You're on Stephanie's painting journey. You're in the club. Cream, you can add to all of those and make them paler colours. Love the fact that you've got neutral in there. But roses, I am sure you will be doing roses at some point, and you've got those colours in there. So if you want to stock up on that one, or if you're buying Cadence for the first time, well, this is about to open the floodgates for you if you've never tried it before, because it's an incredible brand. Shop Warm will get you all of those for $14.99. If you want the Shop Winter, where you've got the Oxford Green, which is brilliant for your holly. You've got a brown in there, which is great for the branches. You've got a royal blue and a yellow. You mix those 2 together, you've got a green, and you've also got a grey. Now, when you have a pure colour, and you add, so you've got a pure colour and you add white to it, you get a tint. When you add black to it, you get a shade. When you add grey to it, you get a tone, and it almost becomes like a more vintage colour. So you've got all your colours in there. You've got your green, you've got a different green. In fact, you've got hundreds of different greens, depending on the quantity that you mix. You can add a little bit of brown into that green to make it more earthy, but you've also got grey that you can add to all those colours to make it more vintage, which I think is fabulous. So if you want that one, shop Winter, $14.99. Again, £7.50 saving, which is brilliant. Right, let's do another quiz question. So question number 2, bunny hop, fandango and bolero are types of what? That's an easy one, I get that one. Bunny hop, fandango and bolero are types of what? Nearly said the answer then. Stopped myself just in time. I'm not going to lie. I'm in a great time today. Love wow embossing powders, says Lorraine Bradbury. I have quite a lot of them. They're brilliant, aren't they? Absolutely brilliant. Right, cut news foam next. This should be in everybody and anybody's craft stash that uses brilliant for retacking your scan and cut. So I know I've always used kitchen sponges. You don't get as many uses out of a kitchen sponge. You can wash this, and this is fabulous for doing that. You will have seen Stephanie yesterday use the other side of it, put paint onto it and use it as an ink pad for her stamps. So she was stamping with this as well. It's a brilliant product. It's in my top 3 from Cadence, along with the stencil spray, which is amazing when you think about all those incredible products that they bring us. So if you want an A4 sheet of that, you can cut it down, you can wash it and reuse it. Shop sponge, $5.99. Right, black card next. So we've got 20 sheets of black card. This is what you will see Stephanie painting on. Lovely quality, solid core, and you're getting 20 sheets of the black. 50 sheets. I was going to say 50 sheets. I was looking at it then, thought there's more than 20 there. 50 for that, $14.99, shop card. We've got stencil brushes back in, yay, at last. A set of 6, oh, limited stock, flipping heck. A set of 6 stencil brushes, shop brush, $9.99. We'll get you 2 sets of those. You'll see me using those in this show. They're lovely. They're a really nice quality, and I like the fact that they're quite short, so they're really easy to handle. We've got a bundle for you. So they are, sorry, shop brush, $9.99. We've got a bundle for you of the stencil spray and the stencil cleaner. The cleaner's really good, actually. It does have a smell to it, so I would spray it and then leave it to soak in, and then literally you can just wipe any residue away. So together, shop bundle, $19.99. If you want the stencil spray by itself, it's shop spray and it's $9.99. If you want the cleaner by itself, it's shop clean and that's $12.99. Now we've also got these back in. And I love these. These are your harmonies. So they're not a hybrid acrylic. These are something that you could use on your cardstock, on your canvases. Save your hybrid acrylics for different things like tin and wood and metal and all those pot and clay and all those things that it goes on. These are lovely. And I'll tell you what, Stephanie was very, very impressed yesterday when she painted with the pastels on black. And the quality of the pigment from Cadence is extraordinary. So you're going to get a pack of 10. These are your pastels. So shop pastel will get you these for $39.99, so $3.99 a bottle. And if you want the brights, shop harmony for shop bright gets you this one, $39.99. Don't forget your palette paper. If you're on either club, if you're on the painting journey, if you like inking and blending, then this is brilliant. You're getting 40 sheets. They're not A4, they're 9 inches by 12 inches, so you get an even better value. So if you cut that down into 4 pieces, if you're somebody that just likes to work on a smaller area, cut it into 4, you've got 160, which will be 4.5 by 6 pieces, which is big enough. So cut them down for $9.99. That's amazing value. You need that. Definitely that. Right, shall we demo? Because I want to show you some really cool little bits of stuff. See, I'm sat down now. I'm in my little happy place, sitting down and playing. Right, shall we start with, what shall we start with? Shall we start with the embossing powders and do those with one of the stencils? I think that might be quite a nice idea. So let me get a piece of black card from here. Now, normally you would use an anti-static bag or you would use some talcum powder. Can't find the talcum powder. I had it last week when I was doing the shrink plastic. I now have no idea where I've put it. It's just standard for me, really, that. Right, now then, where are those stencils that I got with the Daubers? I've had them because I've used them in here. Here they are. I knew I had them somewhere. Couldn't remember where they were. Right, let's have a look. Let's do this one with the roses on because I think that's really pretty. So I've got a little bit of stencil spray on the back. I'm not going to bother with tape because I don't really need to worry about that because it's quite a small area, and also because I'm using one of the Daubers. So this is the set that comes with the Daubers. Just give me the code and the price. We've got 10 of them left. Go on, Andrew. What's the price, please? $12.99 with the Daubers, shop floral. So 8 Daubers, 4 stencils for $12.99. So all I'm doing is picking up this ink. Now this is a Wow embossing pad. We won't have these on the website, but if you've got any embossing ink will do. It really doesn't matter which one you use. And all you're going to do is pick up a little bit on that Dauber, and I'm not swirling or stippling, I'm pressing that ink onto that cardstock, okay? And it will look like it's disappearing. It's not. It's just soaking into the top layer of that card, but that ink will still stay there. Now then, if you've got your mica powders that I had on the show the other night, these are going to be brilliant with that, because you can then put your mica powders over the top as well. And all I'm doing is going in and just filling in all those spaces with a sticky ink, and then we'll use our embossing powder. Now, because the stencil spray on the back of here, when I take this up, there will be a little bit of residue. So when we put the powder on, it's going to stick to that. I'm going to give you a tip for getting that off as well. So we're going to pull this off, and you can just see there where that ink has gone onto that cardstock. So then I'm going to take my embossing powders, and I'm going to start, shall we do 3 different colours? Let's start with a little bit of silver, and I like to just sprinkle it on here and there. When I'm doing like several colours of embossing powders on one piece of art, I like to sprinkle it with my fingers because you get a lighter finish. Then I'm going to go in with some rose gold. Is this rose gold? Copper. We'll go in with some copper. And we'll pick this up, so just pinch it and then put a little bit over the top. This was the thing that got me into, well, one of the things that got me into paper crafting. At a show in Harrogate. What got you into crafting? There's a question. I bet for a lot of us it was either cross stitch or it was embossing, heat embossing. Because I remember sitting there and looking at this and going, wow, this is just amazing. And I stood there for 2 hours watching this lady demonstrate heat embossing, and I went, right, I want everything that you've just used. She was like, everything. I was like, yeah, I need a heat gun, I need the ink, I need it all. And that was the beginning of my stamping journey, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Right, so we've got this. I'm going to take a scrap piece of card and I'm going to knock this off, okay? So we're going to knock it off as much as we can. And wherever you've got that ink is where it will stick. If you've got stencil glue, like I've got on here, so you've got a little bit of stencil spray here, just take a paintbrush and just blow that away, okay? I don't mind having little stray bits, especially on florals, because it looks like pollen. I quite like it, but I know if you're a purist and you like to have it absolutely perfect, just as a regular paintbrush will pick that up for you. I'm going to pop that over down there for now, because then I won't knock it all over the place. And then we're going to heat it. Now the trick with this, because I'm working on a thick card, this was from our mono, which apparently sold out on the back of my Scan and Cut Club class. So we're hoping that we can get a different card that we can use for the next one. So I'm going to put this on. I'm going to get the heat gun really hot, because you want it really hot so that when you go in, it starts to melt straight away. The wow embossing powders melt really quickly as well, which is great. So you're going to start at the bottom, and then you're going to chase that powder as it starts to melt. I love doing this. It never ever fails to make me go, wow, absolutely wow. How lovely is that? And the great thing about having a stencil over a stamp is if you think, oh, actually, I want a little bit more gold in the middle of that, you can put the stencil back on, add a bit more ink, and emboss over the top. But how lovely is that? Isn't that pretty? That, cut down, matted and layered on a little bit of silver mirror card, back onto a white card blank, that's your card done. I think they're really, really, really super, really pretty. Right, what shall we do next? Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do next. We'll put some Mixie on through one of these as well, and then we can do it in gold leaf because it needs time to dry. So I'm sure I brought Mixie on in here. I'm sure I brought it in. Can you see it? Where's it gone? I definitely brought that in. Aha, see, I knew I had. It's in my box. I thought, right, Melanie, are you completely losing the plot? No, something's just gone in the bin. Never mind. Right, I'm going to put a little bit of this on my palette paper. Good for this too, you see. You need this palette paper in your life. Right, I need another dauber, which are inside my lid. Put them in there because I thought you'll forget where they are. So Andrew's just adding the Mixie on to the show. And I'm going to pop this and just get this into that dauber, okay? And let's use a different stencil. Let's use this one, actually. Shop Mix. £4.49 for this. It's brilliant, this product, because it just makes it so easy. I'm going to use the opposite side, so the opposite way that it's supposed to go, but who says? bit rebellious today, I think. I've got to Wednesday, and after doing lots of shows yesterday, I'm like, right, I'm all over it today. So we've got a little bit of, we're just literally going in and dabbing this. Don't be tempted to do this because it's such a fine stencil. If it goes underneath, it's not going to look as good. So we want to try and keep it. That's why I use stencil spray on the back of it. If you haven't got stencil spray yet, you need that for so many different reasons. Holding your foil in place while you're using your hot foil pen, obviously on the back of your stencils, on copier paper, to make sure that when you print in your rice papers, the copier paper stabilizes it. So you put a little bit of it onto a piece of copier paper and your rice paper on top. But I just wanted to show you lots of different techniques with these stencils, whether they're super fine or whether they're big and bold. We can use them for our card making. David does a lot with them with mixed media, which is what you expect because that's his thing. I'm not going to try and step into David's shoes because I'll get loads of questions that I won't be able to answer and you'll find that frustrating. So I thought, you know what? Do what you know, Melanie. Go into your card making. Right, we're going to leave that to dry. And what will happen with that is it will go tacky. And once it's tacky, it's ready for the gold leaf. So I'm going to pop that to one side. But again, using that palette paper. You know, you just need that pad at your side of you with all the bits and stuff. Right, I'm going to do what I did this morning because I love this. This is something that I've done quite a bit in the past, but I thought I'd share it with you today. And I've created a mask. Okay, so the first thing that you need is a mask, and this is when I get all lost because all the stuff goes everywhere. Right, so let's do the heart first because this is a lovely one. So fundamental dies or scan and cut, whichever you prefer, however you use to cut stuff out. That's what you need. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of that embossing powder. This is a piece of the thinnest copier paper you can find. Okay, that's what you need. And we're just going to put a little bit of stencil spray on the back of this copier paper. Okay, another reason that you need this. And I'm going to position this over the top. Okay, and we're going to put that down there. We're going to press that down nice and firmly. Right, I haven't got enough there. Don't be scared of going back in and adding more. Okay, you need this to stay flat. It's really important that it stays flat. Didn't do the weight waft, did I? The David weight waft. He posted on Instagram last night, decorating in full swing. It looked like he got more paint on his arms than he had on his walls. Bless him. He's taken a week off to decorate. I know, right? I've gone from one kind of art to another one. Right, so let's get a stencil. And I'll show you how you can make this into a card. Oh, I've got stuff everywhere now. I laugh at Stephanie and I'm just as bad, aren't I? Let's use this one, I think. We didn't use this one last time. Let's do a different one. Let's use this. This will be pretty, I think. So what we're going to do now is position this stencil over the top. Okay, so we're going to place this down where we want it. I've got stencil spray on the back of here, so you don't need to respray every single time that you go back to it. Okay, it doesn't need to happen. I do need to put a little bit more on there though because I need it to stay flat. So you'll know, but don't automatically go, right, I'm using stencil spray, I need to respray. See if it will stick flat first. And what I'm going to try and do is get this flower in the middle of this medallion in the center of that heart. So I'm going to press that down firmly and then I'm going to bring back in my palette paper because this is when I'm going to use, even more on the floor now, this is when I'm going to use my paints. And I'm going to go for the harmonies and I'm going to go for the pastels because they're lovely. So I want the lilac, I want pink, and let's do sunflower yellow. That's a pretty colour. So you've got 10 to choose from. So you choose your colour palette. I'm going to start with the yellow and I'm going to put a little bit of this out. I'm just making sure that that copier paper is pressed down firmly underneath. So I want a little bit of yellow. Woo! Dropsy today. I need to eat. That's what it is. I can tell when my sugar levels drop, I drop everything. It's terrible. Honestly, I've always been the same. And then we've got lilac. So we'll have all these three out on this palette paper. You can wipe this clean as well. So you'll get a lot of use out of that. I think this is brilliant at this size because you can cut it to the size you want, can't you? Right, let me go in with my stencil brushes. So I'm using the natural line ones. So I'm going to use I'll use two large ones. and a medium one, that'll do. And we'll go in and we're going to pick up some of this yellow, okay, and we're going to create an ombre around. So we're going to go in, and because I've got that stencil spray underneath, I can swirl. So I'm going to swirl round the centre, okay, and we're going to go from yellow to pink to lilac. So you can swirl in different directions. Don't think just because you're a card maker that you can't use paint, because you can. And I love that. And I was never into stuff like this until I went to Cadence. I was adamant. I was like, no, don't want to do messy crafting. Doesn't appeal to me. I don't like the mess. I don't like the cleanup. Well, then I went to Cadence and everything changed, didn't it? Absolutely everything changed, because I fell in love with the idea of doing something that you get to a stage where you look at it and you're like, that looks awful. And you don't want to say anything. But when you reveal it, it's amazing. So I'm picking up the lilac now, and we're going to go up here and we're going to stipple this lilac into place. So if you want more texture, stipple. If you want it nice and smooth, then you can swirl, but you can also use a mixture of two. It's entirely up to you. And I'm just working my way all the way around the outside edge now. I'm going to bring a little bit down there, and then I'm going to come up here, and I'm just going to press this into that cardstock, which is going to be super. Oh, wrong colour. Never mind, it's fine. Now then, this is a great way of making projects really quickly, really inexpensively, but looking like you spent hours on them. It's fabulous. I can't believe this hour has gone already. I haven't done my quiz questions yet, Andrew. I need to do my other one. Yeah, I've got one more to do. I don't know where this hour's gone. Honestly, these shows just fly by. It's not fair. That'll be David, that. From home going, don't let her touch my cadence. Make the show go really fast. Right, let's peel the stencil back. Make sure I've got everything where I need it to be, which I have. And then all you do is peel back the mask. And behind the mask is the beautiful heart that you can then turn into a card. Isn't that fabulous? So if you're buying medallions, don't think you have to use the same thing. And it can be any shape. So it could be a circle, it could be oval, it could be whatever you want it to be, it can be. But it means that by masking off your card first, put your stencil over the top, and then do that, you get a completely different look with your stencils, which is really cool. Right, let me go and grab the quiz questions, because I can't have you missing out on a prize. That's not right, is it? So question number 1 was, which country lies north of France and south of Holland? They make good waffles. Bunny hop, fandango and bolero are types of what? And question number 3, what word describes an isolated hill, good grief, with steep, often vertical sides and a small, relatively flat top? I'm just going to leave that on there quietly while I go and get Andrew back, because he's just unplugged himself, I think. I think he's just unplugged him. Oh, you're there. Oh, you're here. Oh, he heard a beep. No, he's still there. So I'll just leave that there so that you can see that. Shall we go and see if this mixion's ready? I love doing stuff like this. It's great. Andrew, I can't hear you. You sound like you're underwater, love. Hello? 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 You're breaking up a lot, kid. Right, let's see where we're at with this. I don't know if that's going to be quite dry enough yet. Oh, he's here now. See, this is what we have to do, you see. So I have to answer him and then attach him to my headphones. That ringtone will wake you up in the morning, wouldn't it? I know, that's why I have it on. Right, I'm going to stand up to do this. Now, I'm not sure if I've got enough. I might need to go in with a second layer of Mixion, but we'll have a go. Because if I make a mistake, you're learning, right? And that's the most important thing. I don't mind making mistakes. What did Dean used to say? Fail means first attempt in learning. There you go. So if I fail, it's fine. No, it is fine. You learn from your mistakes, hopefully, don't you? So I've got a whole sheet going on there, and I'm just going to start swirling around with my mop brush. Okay, and then we're going to go in with one of our stencil brushes and get right in there and get rid of any excess of that flake. So I've broken the back of it now. I'm working inside a cardboard box with a kitchen roll inside because, there we go, now we're getting there, look at this. Because what that does is it stops the static. Okay, let's have a go, let's get right in there. So I'm making the brush really tiny. Can you see I'm making it tight? Because I want to get in there and scrub away any little bits that aren't attached to that stencil. And also when you're doing it through such a fine stencil as well, you're going to have to get in and really get into the detail of it. So go in different directions. You can see I'm changing the way that I'm putting that in, and you can see how it's starting to pick out that detail. So if I go in again and go in the opposite direction, don't be scared of this. This metal leaf is really good quality, which means that you can go in like this. And this is the difference between buying a really good quality leaf and buying gilding flakes. If you did this with gilding flakes, it would be scratched by now to within an inch of its life. It's not doing it with this metal leaf. It's very, very good. So brush off any excess. I mean, how lovely is that? Even if you did a background like that with those little stencils. This is why you need the finger daubers, you see, because it's perfect for getting into that little detail. Look how lovely that is. Just that with the sentiment across there, maybe stamp with your embossing powders and just crop that down. That's really pretty. You know, and people who don't make cards, you go out and do a fair, they'll buy 10 of those bundled together with different sentiments on. Get your money back within literally really, really quickly. So we've done embossing, we've done gold foiling, we've done our stencils with the paint. How long have I got, Andrew? Is it still there? 8 minutes. Do I need to do anything? Can I carry on? Can you hear him? Can you hear him, Sam?
Just.
I can't hear you very well. It does sound like you're underwater. Do I need to recap? What do I need to recap? I can't hear you at all. Right, I'm going to do these two, I guess. I'm guessing now. I'm guessing. I'm absolutely guessing. Right, let me get my pieces. So this set here, you've just seen me do the heart. So we've done that, and then all I did was got a black Sharpie, went all the way around the outside, and then went and wove a line that went in between, just so that it doesn't have to be straight. And I always end up with inky marks. It don't matter how well I look after my hands and do it, I always end up with inky marks. But isn't that lovely? So also this one is the part of that. So just 3 apertures of circles and then over stamped. And then this one is just masking off with a piece of copier paper down the sides and adding that detail through it. It's lovely, isn't it? And if you're not using paint, use ink. So Shop Medal is going to get you all 4 of these massive medallion stencils, £7.50 each. So Shop Medal is going to get you all 4 for £29.99. That's ridiculous. Honestly, we can't cut them ourselves at for that price. It's brilliant. Shop Medal, £29.99. Your next one is Shop Magic, and this is fabulous. So you've got these, is that the right way around, Sam? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, so you've got these bigger ones, but again, it could just be that quarter that you use. In fact, you can see there's a definite line that goes through that leaves that would give you that quarter. If you're doing furniture, if you're doing bigger pieces, if you just want bigger strips, if you're doing them on a wall, doing them on the back of a jacket, maybe you got the new fabric paints from Cadence last weekend, maybe you're going to do that on jeans and things like that. It looks amazing. Bespoke your clothing. Go out and buy some inexpensive t-shirts and decorate them up. It's a great way of doing that. So you're going to get all 4 of these. I'm not even going to bother because it's just a day today. But you've got in all of this lot, again, Shop Magic, £29.99. That's a cracking price, isn't it? That's great for that. Right, we need to do these with the daubers again. So I don't know whether I've still got this one or not, which is Shop 2. We only had 1 of these left. And I can't hear Andrew. It says no, it's gone. Right, that's gone. So we have this one next. So let me get a piece of black card without messing up everything else that's under here. Because that's likely. And you've got these 4. So you're getting these 4 stencils. which are lovely. This is the one we've just done with the gold leaf. You're going to get 8 daubers. So you've got 8 little finger daubers. These are great. These are really good. I know David had them on all his fingers, didn't he, the other day? It was like this. But they're really good for applying things like your embossing ink. If you take the ink pad and you squish it through, chances are you'll get too much ink on and it will start to bleed underneath the stencil. Also, you're wasting a lot of ink doing that. If you put the whole pad on and press it down, you're wasting ink. Using a finger dauber allows you to get that directional application where you want it, which is really important. So 8 finger daubers and 4 of your stencils, shop floral, $12.99. That's a cracker. Black card. If you want your black card, you've got 50 sheets of black card here for $14.99. Shop card, this is the thing, this is the paper that you'll see Stephanie painting on. So if you're on her painting journey, if you're in the club, if you're on your cadence journey, black card is going to be brilliant. And you'd be able to use your Mixion and your embossing ink on that black card as well. It's solid core too. But the one thing that stood out for me today above everything else was this, the palette paper. Now you'll have seen Stephanie using this as a small A6 pad, all right, so a little pad. This is 40 sheets that are 9 inches by 12 inches, so really nice big sheets. They're wipeable, so you can use them over and over again if you want to. You can cut them down into 4, which means you'd have 160 4.5 inch by 6 pieces, so that's going to last you a long time. If you're on either the Cadence Club or the Painting Club, you definitely need this in your life. It's Shop Artist and it's $9.99. That works out at 25 pence a sheet. 25 pence a sheet. That's right, isn't it? Times 4, times 20, 25 times 40. Yeah, 25 pence a sheet. I had to question that because it didn't sound like very much at all, did it, that? That's amazing. You cut that in half, you're down to £6 and a bit, 6 pence and a bit per piece. This is when you buy this, because you're getting a lot for a little there. Now then, the other thing that this would be good for, if you spray mounted, use your stencil spray mount a piece onto a piece of board, put them into one of the bags like David's painted over there that's he's stenciled on with the medallion stencils. That will stop the paint going through one side of the bag to the other. It'll also stop the paint from sticking to the paper that you've put inside. You need a plastic covering on. That'll be great for this. And then you can just wipe it clean and use it again. So if there's one thing you're going to buy on this show and you're on the painting journey, that is brilliant. Also, really good for blending your inks. So if you're somebody that likes blending ink, but you don't like that when you pick up the ink up on the brush and you put it straight onto the card and you get that almost more intense blob of ink, this is brilliant because you can take your blending brush. In fact, let me show you while we're here. Might as well show you rather than tell you. Started the show off like this, but we'll go back and we'll do it again. If you've got a piece of card and you struggle with blending, this could very well be your solution. So even with the darkest or brightest colour, I'm going to get a tiny amount of ink down there. You don't need a lot at all. I'm going to pick up a little blending brush. I'm going to get that mixed on the palette paper. You can see how smooth it moves. And then, let's get rid of all that lot that's underneath there. Then you're going to bring the ink into the edge of the card. So you're then going to go along. Look how smooth and how even you can get that. And that's because you're starting on something that's smooth. So you're starting on your palette paper. The other technique that this will be really good for as well is if you've got lots of ink left over at the end, so you've got lots of ink on your palette paper, spritz it with water, just a very fine mist of water. Look how far that ink's gone. Now if I pick that ink up, in fact, let me show you, if I pick that ink up directly on here and I work just on to my card without the palette paper, or I work from a piece of card, it's already, look, it's already starting to become dry. So I've gone all the way through there, I've done several layers. If I go straight from card, because the card is absorbing that, all you're going to do is that. So it's much better than working from card. Right, we've got 1 minute left. I need another hour. Blinking heck, where's it gone? Right, who's my winner, please? I can't hear a word he's saying. You're going to have to tell me, Sam. And I haven't got the things, sheets. Right, I'm going to make up a prize. Who's the winner, please? I can't hear him at all. This is ridiculous. Literally sounds like a dog.
Sally M.
Sally M. Right, I'm going to spin the wheel and we're going to choose between 500 points or a goodie bag. So even numbers, I haven't looked, even numbers are 500 points, odd numbers are a goodie bag. Number 3, odd number, goodie bag. Well done, you. Right, if you message us, help at Hal, I've no other way of doing it, help at Highlight Crafts, we will get that sorted out for you. Just say, Mel says I've won a goodie bag on the 12 o'clock show, and we'll get that sent out to you. Thank you for your company. It's been a bit bonkers, that, hasn't it? A bit chaotic. I need 2 hours for this. Hopefully next time I see you, we'll have a bit more time. But I am back with Stephanie at 6 o'clock tonight with Storage Solutions, so join us then. Take care. Bye.